In this video, we are going to examine a mech which is arguably one of the best close-quarters fighters of its generation. Comparable to the Grasshopper, this machine mirrors it very much so, but doubles down on its close-range attributes. Named for a device that delivers a sudden and shocking end to its intended victims, this Battlemech most assuredly lives up to the designation in the vicious battlefields of the Star League era and beyond. Without further delay, let's look into another of Newhart Industries' Warbringers, the Guillotine. A heavy mech weighing in at 70 tons, the Guillotine is one of the older machines to be found in Technical Readout 2750, with its design first being commissioned in 2499 by the Terran Hegemony. It's not hard to see why this early design would become prolific in the Star League Defense Forces, becoming a standardized heavy mech for almost 200 years in the organization. It's a very much capable machine in a multitude of ways, and is armored enough and has enough endurance to see itself through almost any kind of battlefield. In addition to this, it was a domestic product inside of Terran space, giving the Star League, which was very much centered on the Terrans, leverage over its production and distribution. As a result of this, the Guillotine would see action in every single major combat operation ever launched by the Star League, and almost all of its smaller operations as well, from the Reunification Wars all the way through to the Ameris Civil War. Unfortunately for this storied design, Newhart's facilities would be destroyed on New Earth during the Ameris Civil War, and several of its subcontracted facilities outside of Terran space were destroyed during the First Succession War. It would find a new life from Irian Battlemechs Unlimited in the Free Worlds League, off and on for several centuries, making its downgrade model, but beyond this its distribution had more or less stopped, making it a rare sight to behold. As with many others, a large contingency of these mechs were held in secret by Comstar, in their much more advanced form, and would be utilized by the Comguards and their chosen allies. It would see more widespread production again after the discovery of the Hell Memory Core, as well as during the Clan invasion, when the Comguards would be fully activated to do battle against their Clan counterparts. The GLT-3N is the primary variant for the duration of the Star League, and is the default configuration for production. This is a fairly early design, though it does use some lost tech, and it does show in this configuration. In order to move this 70-ton metallic beast, the 3N is powered by a 16-ton VOX 280 Fusion Standard engine, which gives it a maximum speed of 64 km per hour, or 6 movement points in the tabletop game. This is sufficient for a heavy mech of its size, and it is the speed of strategic operations from this era. In addition, this has the ability to leap up to 120 meters, or 4 hexes in the tabletop game. Perhaps one of the reasons this mech earned the term Guillotine is using these 4 jump hexes not in the form of just using it to enhance its mobility and maneuverability, especially in built-up forests or other areas, but also to deliver a deadly death from above attack. Still, the GLT-3N is considered to have a superb movement function for its time. Using standard heatsink technology, the GLT-3N typically would suffer for it. However, an immense amount of tonnage is expended on attempting to keep this Battlemech cool, with a stunning 15 tons of single heatsinks being installed on board, giving it 25 sinking capacity. This, while working in tandem with its heavy energy loadout, is most definitely up to the task of keeping this executioner of Battlemechs running cool. Due to the early age of the Battlemech when it was designed, this is the likely reason for the technical and engineering decision behind using single heatsinks, though cost and availability may have played a role in this as well. When it comes to its fighting capabilities, the 3N is served by its almost Grasshopper-like weapons configuration. The primary weapon of this Battlemech is its Sunglow large laser, which is mounted in its left arm and gives it a medium range for reaching out to damage targets, as well as having the ability to do more substantial piercing or scorching through heavier armored plating on Battlemechs and tanks. In addition to this, the Guillotine backs this up with 4 Exostar 2 medium lasers, with 2 mounted in its left arm and 1 mounted in each of its side torsos. Combined with its superb cooling, the Guillotine can fire all of its energy systems without going over its heat limit, meaning that despite its damage not being immense, its fire is sustainable turn after turn, eroding away enemy performance until its final victory. The last piece of the weapon-centric puzzle in this design is its Coventry 6 SRM launcher, or SRM-6, which gives it a brutal scatter shot at close range to crit seek or to find exposed parts of enemy mechs in order to generate destructive results. This missile system is located in its center torso. Its whole package of weapons speaks to a close-range brawler mech, and one which finds its home in cities, forests, hills, or dense terrain in general, punching holes with lasers before delivering shotgun-like blasts from its missiles. And if all else fails the Guillotine, it can drop on its opponents like an executioner's blade in the form of a jumping death-from-above assault. When it comes to protection, the 3N is again quite well served, with 12 tons of standard armored plating, conferring a respectable 192 points of armor. To help its survivability yet further, it has a case in its right torso, protecting it from ammunition explosions which may be caused by its SRM ammo. This amount of plating makes the Guillotine hard to remove from the field, especially given its lack of an XL engine and its very limited amount of explosive materials, as well as the fact that the latter is protected by the casing system. The only other system outside of its case which uses lost technology is its endo steel, which saves it weight to allow for its configuration. The Guillotine is an underarmed mech to some degree for a 70-ton machine, where it finds itself outgunned by such monstrosities like the Flashman, Warhammer, Marauder, or Black Knight, at least at their ideal ranges. Heavier mechs too may also make its weapon system seem tame, but the Guillotine isn't about these huge bursts of damage. It's a maneuverable, durable, sustained-driven weapon of war, and one that can operate for extended periods of time with very little support. While it is not a perfect weapon, it is still a very useful one, and operates well with other heavy mechs as a flexible asset. It even operates well as a commander of lighter forces in raiding activities. The Guillotine is a superb fighter, and definitely one which cannot be underestimated. The GLT series would have the benefit of getting an eventual downgrade design, as well as appearing after the discovery of the Hell Memory Core in large numbers. As a result, it would see several configurations appear as well. Let's explore what these have on offer. After the destruction of Newhart's facility on New Earth during the Ameris Civil War, and its subcontracting facilities in the First Succession War, it appeared as though the Guillotine would face a quiet extinction in the Inner Sphere. Instead, it would find itself rescued by Irian Battlemechs Unlimited in the Free Worlds League. They would not only provide it with consistent replacement parts and downgrade kits to the various forces looking for them, but they would even prove that they were able to refurbish or build whole new battlemechs of this chassis design, though they would do so quietly and infrequently over the course of almost 200 years. In fact, after the Hell Memory Core was discovered, it would be Irian who would produce many of the variants that would appear after the fact. The GLT-4L is the downgrade in question. It loses its endo steel and case systems, though frankly it is almost identical to the original Guillotine outside of one thing. To compensate for the loss of these components, the 4L simply removes 3 heatsinks, which does impact its performance, but less than one might imagine. Outside of Comstar, Irian would be the main producer of the GLT series, and the 5M is the most common variant seen during the clan invasion. It is a 3N, but with an ER large laser. The latest generation model of the Guillotine, a weapon from the Dark Age, is Irian's latest model. There would be a very major series of differences from the original mech. For its internal components, it installs double heat sinks, and operates 16 of them, giving it 32 sinking capacity. It then uses an ER PPC instead of a large laser, and enhances it with a PPC capacitor, making it more dangerous and potentially a head clipper. though this system is very hot as a result. Next up, it uses 2 ER medium lasers instead of its traditional twin medium laser package in its torso, and replaces the medium lasers in the arm with a pair of light PPCs, for better range and engagement, as well as to match these up with its ER PPC. Finally, it has a Streak SRM6 installed, and upgrades its case system to a Case 2. This is the bleeding edge of what a Guillotine is, and is still a very dangerous combatant, even if it runs a bit hot. The Guillotine has existed in militaries across the Inner Sphere for over 650 years in various forms. It is a robust design, and one which was receptive to change during its production. Even the clans would inevitably make the Guillotine 2C, though that will be covered at a later time. Agile for its size, and dangerous and close, its fearsome reputation over the course of its time in the Star League and Succession Wars was well earned. Though perhaps it underperformed against its clan counterparts, in the Dark Age its blade would be sharpened once more, and it is now being given a chance to redeem itself with a new, innovative design. When an opponent gives it the opportunity, the Guillotine will do what it is named after, and few will be surprised after the fact with the results. Thank you for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. There is new content on this channel very frequently, and I'd appreciate your support. Also, a huge thank you to all the YouTube members who support this channel, as these videos are only possible because of viewers like you. With that, I will catch everyone in the comment section below.